is an absolutely stunning Dvar Torah from Rabbi Yosef Tzvi Dushinsky, Zatzal, Maritzal HaTorah. And it's so practical. The lesson, mamish, we can learn from this. In devarim, there's a Rashi that says that Yaakov told Reuven on his deathbed, he gave him Musar. And he told Reuven b'ni, my dear son, mipnei ma lo hechakticha kol hashonim halolu. How come I didn't give you teichacha all of these years? You know how long that Yaakov waited from when Reuven did what he did until his deathbed, until he gave Musar to him? How long was it? 47 or 48 years. How long do we wait? 48 seconds. Halavai. I wish. If only. So he says, how come Yaakov didn't give Musar to Reuven right away? Why did he wait so long? Kedei sheloi tanicheni, so that way Reuven shouldn't leave me. V'seilech v'sedabek be'esav achi. He shouldn't leave me and go and be medabek and become connected to Esav, my brother. There's a lot of pshatim. Listen to what he says. He asks a question. If Dushinsky asks, what do you mean? He's going to give him teichacha and he's going to go off the derech, OTD, he's going to go be like Esav? That's what he was worried about? Tarech bir. Reuven did something wrong. You have to give him teichacha. You have to give him a punishment. You have to criticize him. He's going to go off the derech. He was scared. V'yesh levar, that Yaakov Avinu said, if I am going to constantly rebuke this kid, and every time he does something wrong, I'm telling him, no, don't put it here. You did this. Why'd you do this? How'd you do this? You know, helicopter parents, but not the good kind of helicopters. Controlling, angry, punishing constantly. V'yeda Reuven. And Reuven's going to know that his father knows, his parents, father means parents, knows everything he's doing. He's constantly looking at him. Right? You know, a big part of parenting is you don't have to see everything. So what's going to happen? Reuven's going to protect himself from his father. And when he's going to want to do something not so good, he's going to go into the room. How many of your kids are in the bathroom for 2 hours? Because they can't do what they're doing and watch a movie outside, so they go in the bathroom for 2 hours, right? He's going to go into his room, and where nobody could see him, because he's scared. He doesn't want his father to know what to do. So we think, oh, good, then you're not going to do it. No, kids are going to do stuff. But he's just going to make sure that you don't see him, because he can't take your constant criticism. And therefore, he can't really deal with him. If you don't know your kid, you can't help him. So he can't be medactical of v'lachar ma'asav to know where he's up to, and he can't really be a part of his life, because everything that the kid does, he's going to do in closed doors. So then you're not in his life. You're getting the external layers. Yeah, Tati, everything's good. Yeah, I went to daven. Meanwhile, you didn't even go to shul, and you don't know about it. Oh, yeah, she's going out in a Beis Yaakov uniform, and on the corner, they pull it up, and it becomes a miniskirt. They pull it down, and you think that's chinuch? You don't know your kid. So he says, if I don't know my kid, I can't be mechanech him. So if I'm going to criticize him, I'm not going to know my kid. Criticism is not chinuch. It's one type of thing that sometimes you can do, but you can lose the whole relationship of openness, and then you can't be mechanech, you can't educate them because you don't know where he's up to. Therefore, his skill, Yaakov Avinu had seichel. We should be as smart as Yaakov Avinu. We can learn from him. And he didn't give teichacha, rebuke, all those years because he shouldn't think that my dad's on top of me. V'hinei, midas Esav haisa haramois kitzayid b'piv. What was Yaakov's midah? Emes. What was Esav's midah? Sheker. Esav used to show his father ramois, used to fool his dad, right? Because he didn't want his father to know that he's a bad guy. So he would go outside and do all the averis in the world. He would come inside and he would look like a very yeshivish guy and ask questions. How do you give meiser on salt? And how do you this and do that? Why? Because he wanted to fool his father. It was midah of sheker. Yaakov said, Ba'al zen niskaven Yaakov. This was Yaakov's kavana. When he says, you know why I didn't give my son Teichacha all these years? Kedei sheloi telech usedabek be'esav achi, that he shouldn't go and be medabek in the midah of my brother. That what? Koloimar, b'midas haramoy shel Esav. Shemara mibachutz yoshroi. B'sheva tayevas b'liboy. He was worried that his kid is going to take on Uncle Esav's identity in the way he deals with his father. And then, I don't know what I'm dealing with. How is Bein Zmanim? Yeah, I'm going to go learn. I went to shul. And he's a liar like Uncle Esav. I'm midas emes. I want to have an open relationship with my kid. I want to be there for you. I want to hold your hand through your struggles. I want to give you chizuk. You do teichacha, you shut down the relationship, and now you have a fake relationship. And then how are you going to help the kid? How are you going to be there for them? It's better that I shouldn't give this criticism, rebuke, right? So that way I should be able to be in his life and I'll know properly where he's holding, so I can, in a very smart, non-confrontational way, help my child. We have influence. We have so much we can teach them. But once they're fooling us and they're floating away from us because they took on the clothing of Esav, the midah of Esav of Sheker. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Why didn't Yaakov give Teichacha for 48 years? Kedei sheloi tanicheni, you shouldn't leave my path of being open and honest and having an open relationship, open dialogue. V'seilech, and go and be medabik in the midah of my brother Esav of fooling your parents and doing whatever you want and just looking like you're the good kid. That's what Yaakov was scared. So he closed his mouth for 47, 48 years. Now, we know our kids, when we give rebuke, teichacha, they shut down, and we know how many kids that we're losing who have double lives, and the parents say, well, I think everything's fine, and meanwhile the people on the street know how far this kid is. Everybody else knows besides mom and dad, because a lot of them, they're just hiding it because I don't want the grief. I'd rather just not have you in my life than deal with you. I have enough going on. I have enough to deal with. I'm on overload, and now I got to deal with you. I got to answer to you. I got to explain myself to you, when the truth is there is no explanation for dysfunction. And the truth is, if somebody saw you all of a sudden doing an avera and the lights go on and Hashem says, explain yourself. What, you have a reason for your dysfunction? We have a reason why we sin? We sin because we're human, because we mess up. We have to explain it, but on our kids, we put the spotlight on them, we grill them. Didn't we make up? Didn't we say it? We don't give them the human thing that they're struggling and it's hard for them. And we think that we have to be so tough. Meanwhile, Yaakov Avinu couldn't be tough. It's not an American concept. We're going to be tough on our kids and expect them to be open with us? It's insanity. Yaakov says it's better for me to have a relationship with my kid where he can be open with me and I can find smart ways to influence him, other than if I rebuke him, teichacha, rebuke, criticism, and then he just shuts down. Doesn't tell me who he is. I'm not in his life. He's struggling all alone. He feels all alone, which adds to the struggle. And instead of me carrying him and being there with him, at least holding his hand, I don't even know who I'm dealing with. That's what he says. That's what Yaakov was worried about. So beautiful, 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 beautiful.